Hello everybody. We have a game with the black pieces against Almanova Uralsk, rated 1731. They open up with d4 and the queen's gambit declined. We're going to play the Slav structure against them, protecting our light squares as he tries to break down our light squares. So it's move 3, and they develop their knight, and we counter their knight with our own. Counter pressure. He now develops the other knight. We want to develop the bishop, but we want to strengthen our light squares with a6 first, so we don't hang one of these. There are certain lines that attack those. So this is the Chebanenko Slav, when you play a6, and my opponent left the game. You can claim victory in 60 seconds. And he's back. He takes the pawn. We have to recapture. We want to take with the pawn, maintaining a pawn presence, not letting him push. You see now queen b3, you can always go b5 because of the a6 pawn. So he attacks the knight, which is defending our center. That's fair. He's attacking the knight, which is defending the center. Can we jump it because it's not pinned? Is that a weird move? I feel like that's usually the response. If he goes for some type of light square stuff, you can just take his bishop. When he takes back, you solidify. Yeah, I'm going to jump my knight in. When your knight's not pinned and they put their bishop here in multiple openings, you go knight into the center. But he trades. Isn't this a blunder? Because now that my d-pawn moved, I have this tactic. I guess he can go here. So it's not a blunder. He blocks that, but now it's not a check. Okay, so it's not a blunder. He's hitting the pawn, but hanging this pawn, this pawn. I could hit the bishop, but why let him defend? I could hit the bishop and pin the knight, but why let him defend? Let's just take the free pawn. He doesn't even have the check now. And not that the checks are ever dangerous, because we're fine. Okay, so he does go queen b3 after all is said and done, which doesn't threaten anything that I notice. Developing the knight seems reasonable. Developing this pawn seems reasonable. He's gonna long castle and align with my queen. So here, rook here, or long castle. I mean, that shouldn't really be bad. We just drop our queen back behind our pawn for cover, and we do it with gain of time, so we get to go again. Okay, he doesn't even go to the right file. He goes for the one with the knight, but that's not a thing because there's a knight there. Okay, so we like to see that. Now if we harass it, he's gonna go here. We kind of don't want our queen here anyway. We can even throw our knight there one day. Hard to say. I suppose this is always a thing. You know what? Let's throw this in. Okay, he does counter throw this in. Alright. We're going to have to move our queen at some point or another. We're up a pawn. If we go here, does he have a good way to avoid the queen trade? Like here? Then we take his bishop. So, because he tried to be fancy with his intermezzo, now I can kind of force the queen trade because his bishop's still hanging. And we're up a pawn. He could take it back, but our knight will be here. Maybe we can take that pawn. It's all a little suspicious. We're not very well developed, if I'm being completely honest. At the same time, you know, you're always only playing for 2 results, so he tries to get even fancier. But now I can just take a queen. What? And then a bishop. Okay, but now I'm up a piece. That was not necessary unless I missed something. He's hitting a pawn, but now he has no dangers and we can take all the time in the world. We don't want to make a move like f6, weakening our light squares, but we do want to make a move like g4, stopping 3 pawns with 1 in a sense. Okay, he moves the same piece again to attack this, but we can counter defend with threats he might not even notice. You could also just play e6 and be normal. Do we want to be normal? Let's see, how could he hurt us if we try to be fancy? I guess let's just go e6. Let's not be fancy. We need to develop our bishop. Let's just do it. Okay, so now he's trying to win a pawn. Let's just develop and counter what he's doing without much thought. We could put our other bishop here. You know, people always try to put their bishops to the furthest square in their opponent's camp, and sometimes that's good, and sometimes it's just totally not necessary. Okay, so he moves his knight voluntarily. Not sure why, but he keeps moving the same piece again and again, which we don't mind seeing. Now we're going to do this just to get the turn back because it's check, not because we want it in his position, right? I'd rather even have it back at home. But now I get the turn back, and I got to develop, so win-win. Oops. Where's this knight going, though? It's a little odd. Although we mess up our structure by doing that. Might as well gain space for free. Kick his bishop. Give him the opportunity to go wrong. You have lots of moves. You could have brought your rooks in. You could castle. But I might as well leave my rook here because it looks fun here. I could rook lift it this way for fun. You know. Okay, so he just goes back here. But I don't think he's ever going to be able to use these squares. So I don't mind seeing this. Okay, let's get our rook. Maybe you could push the A pawn for fun, but let's just get our rook in the game. We're up a piece. We could just trade stuff. I'm making it more complicated than necessary. He hits our bishop, but I mean, our bishop sits quite well on e7. So let's just go there. And the pawn move doesn't help him really, so we don't care. And now he has to try to find an actual useful move. He could try to pick up our bishop, get rid of our bishop pair. by putting the knight here, but we're up a piece. Oh, so he's trying to do some weird, I don't know, break down our pawn strategy. And whatever. I'll just castle now, connect our rooks, move the knight out of the way, and trade all the rooks. I'm not actually going to use the h-file. And neither's he. He can open it up all he wants, but he's not doing jack on the h. So now I'm going to move my knight, as previously mentioned. It defends the pawn. It also offers rook trades. So he's never going to have anything here. Especially since I'm going to take one of his rooks next, and he can never double, so you can never infiltrate. So he goes pawn hunting, but now I get to improve my bishop crazy with check. Oh god, what is this? And he resigned because he just walked into the checkmating pattern, because he has to go back, and then this, and then bishop blocks, and then checkmate. So yeah, that was pretty terrible. And like I said, people move, or maybe I said it last video, I don't even know, but people move too quickly, and then they'll blunder the game like that. Why? Oh, this was a good one. 98%. That's not bad. Let's see what happened. So against the Queen's Gambit decline, there's lots of openings you can play. We go for the Chebanenko Slav. What is that? Center and development. It's when you play a6, because if you don't play a6 and you just develop, and he takes, and you take, and he goes here. See this? This is what you call a problem. And if you move your queen to defend this pawn, he jumps in with the knight, and you're already in trouble. And your best move is actually to bring the bishop back home. So to avoid this well-known trap, we play a6, so that if we go down that same line, we can defend the b pawn by playing b5. We don't have to do anything with our queen, and he can't take either pawn. So anyway, he takes, and force move. Okay, so this is in the master's database. This is theory still, and the most theoretical move is knight e4. Otherwise, you could just close the pawn chain. Those were the two moves I was considering, but I chose to go for the knight e4 option. But then he takes, which I wasn't expecting. I force move. And now I feel like you have a lot of options here. I don't even know what did I play. Oh yeah, free stuff. Development and center. And then I just improving move for free. The alternative is to go e6 and finish your development and castle. But I did it because you see how they're saying his best move is to go back to e3 instead of playing e3. I was trying to provoke it so that his bishop would be in the way of his e-pawn and he couldn't play e3 in the future. But I guess you're making his bishop, maybe it'll be useful on the queen side, so maybe you don't even want to do it. It's hard to tell without analyzing slowly. So anyway, he goes here, which looks like it should be fine because it hits a stronger unit. But I happen to find the move that makes it bad because this leaves the queen trade and the piece hanging. He has to take my queen, and then I have to take back. And I thought here, oh yeah, he has to move his bishop. He can't even take the pawn, and then he has stuff hanging. And I thought this was weird because I am up material. Computer says I'm, minus 1.5, but I really am not developed well. And my knight's in, Timbuktu. Move by move, you happen to be fine, but... And this is what was going to happen. It's what I planned for, but it also is not my favorite. I also like developing. So anyway, he blunders. He doesn't take the queen. he tries to defend the queen, but that, and it's weird because he's 1730, and all of you guys in chat or whatever viewers know this is not hard to calculate. You take the queen, you take the bishop. It's like Puzzle Rush number 15 or whatever, if that. But 1700s will just automatically do it because they just, in the middle of a game, their mind is elsewhere. And so we take free stuff and it's -4 and the game's over. He takes, and the best move is to, why is this on? To push past, center, and development. Development and center. Developing for free. Improving for free. Development, force move. King safety and development. Improving a piece for free because all of these trades are good for us because we're up a piece. Force move for free. And that's game over because rook's coming over. And it's mate in 4. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that game. Good luck in your chess. We're almost there. See you in the next one.